Rimworld is nearing release and I am super excited, and with all the new changes to the game for the 1.0 release, I figured I should make another tips video because, you know, I haven't made it enough already, right? Anyway, here are 10 tips for Rimworld 1.0. Tip number 1 is one that got me off guard on stream recently. Horseshoe pins and hoopstone pins slowly train colonists' shooting abilities. This is good because sometimes there isn't too much in the way of target practice for colonists, so why not throw a rock or a horseshoe at a pin for a while and gain some skill? Like, this has many uses and it's a neat little tip for new players. Tip number 2 is useful for corpses and getting rid of bodies when there are no places to bury or cremate them. Build a room made of stone, haul the bodies into there, then torch the bodies with Molotovs. It's a quick and easy cremation process. This is a great way for new players to deal with tons of bodies at once without having much technology, and it also stops you from having to make a massive graveyard. Tip number 3 is yet another way to deal with dead bodies. Make your animals eat them. The easiest way to do this is to restrict your animals to outside your base and also away from your crops. Then put the bodies in a stockpile and your animals will eat the corpses. They will also stop eating your food in your fridge. That's always good. Tip number 4 is one I didn't know up until recently. Someone on my stream told me this, which if you're interested in watching me stream, then please subscribe and keep an eye out for my streams. I usually stream around 10 p.m. Central Time. Come check it out, it's quite the party. Anyway, tip number 4 is cleanliness. Boosts research speed. On top of that, so does light. Make sure your researcher has a clean room and good lighting and he will research much faster. Now, tip number 5 is a bit of a dark tip to give, but it's extremely useful. Instead of slaughtering your animals, just euthanize them. Doing this trains your doctors, and having extremely good doctors stops so many problems from happening in the future. Tip number 6 is one that is useful for easy money. If you ever have animals, let them breed, but sell the babies. This is extremely easy money, and plus, it saves you trouble. What if your pets and colonists become attached and then they all die? You know what happens? Mental breakdown mayhem. Good luck surviving that. I have to do that all the time on stream. It sucks. Tip number 7 is an amazing tip. It's such a good way to train doctors because it yields lots of XP and it doesn't cause any mood debuffs. Take unwanted prisoners and install peg legs on them. Doing this doesn't affect your colony in any negative way, and it boosts your doctoring skills, which are very important. You can then just release the prisoner and the faction they are a part of gets a mood boost towards you. I do this all the time, though I do worse things to them. Tip number 8 is a pretty screwed up thing to do to a prisoner, but it yields one of the hardest to get drugs in the game, which is Luciferian. Now, I have not been able to test this or find anything on this, but apparently if you get your prisoners addicted to Luciferium and you release them, they have a good chance of coming back to your colony with more Luciferium. Again, this tip might be wrong, so feel free to say in the comments, but however, if it's true, then that is both hilarious and very helpful. Tip number 9 is a subtle but useful tip. It could save your colonists' lives. Stone chunks act as makeshift sandbags. They do not offer as much cover as sandbags, however, they offer enough to make it worthwhile. In fact, there is roughly only 10 point of difference between the sandbag cover and the stone chunk cover. This is extremely useful for defending your colony from raiders, but also attacking other colonies because they are likely to have stone chunks lying around on the map for you to utilize. Finally, tip number 10. This one is related to tip number 9, and it's another subtle one. Make sure to surround the sides of your colonists when making sandbag cover. This offers cover bonuses for your colonists. It also is recommended that you make a zigzag pattern with your sandbags so that you can cram your colonists together and they can all get the cover bonuses and they can also fire effectively. Thank you for watching this tips video. I hope you enjoyed. Please go check out my other tips videos as well as my Rimworld series. Anyway, leave a like and subscribe to see more tips and probably some more Rimworld.